Okay, so we are going to make this shape together as a class. So we have to talk about what the heck this is. Okay, so there are two things here. We have this is the working drawing. So this is like a drawing you would get for a part if you were going to make a part. Let me explain what's going on. So we have an isometric view. This is called isometric. It's like a 3D view. It's always in a top, front, right orientation. So we have the top is this diamond shape that's facing upwards. The front is facing this way and the right is facing this way. Those are shown down here below. So we have, here's our front view, and if we look, it like rotates down and we have our front view right here. Rotates down, we have our right view. It's just a rectangle. And we've got these dashed lines. These dashed lines are hidden lines. Like if we had X-ray goggles and we were looking at the side, so there's like a line here, and then this is the hole. These are the vertical lines going through. So it just shows that we have more going on than just a box. And then this is our top view. So they're perfectly in line. So if this says that this is 1.25 across, that means that this also is. So we also have our dimensions shown. So we've got dimensions shown. We've got our height dimensions are shown here and here. Okay? Our height dimensions are shown here and here. Our width dimensions are shown here and here. And then depth, which depth is a confusing one. That's from the front to the back of it. That is shown in this view from the left to the right and from the front or the bottom to the top of this one. It takes a little minute to get used to it, but we're going to work on this as we're working in Onshape. So you guys have your isometric, and these are your orthographic. So what we need to do is take these and make them in Onshape. So I'm going to shrink this down. I'm going to open up Onshape. Which I don't know where it went. Let me pause and I'll open Onshape. Okay, so I'm going to get into Onshape and I'm going to click Create and choose a new document. And I'm going to call this Demo Shape and my last name. The Demo Shape Devlin or your first name, and click OK. So now we can get started. So we've got our top, front, and right view now. So on here, right, we can see our top, front, and right. So what I always start with is I like to plan this out because there's a lot of different ways to make this. But I think making our front view, making this like bench looking shape and pulling it back, that's probably the best way to start. So I'm just going to do it first with no dimensions, and then I'll go back and add my dimensions in a second. So I'm going to start my sketch in the front view. I always like to start my first shape on the origin so it's locked there. So I'm just going to take 3 rectangles and make a shape like this. Alright, and that last one, I'm going to do that again because I'm locking into the corner, and then as I drag down, I'm letting it lock me in there because it is the same height. Alright, so now I have my shape drawn. Now I can start pulling some dimensions. So from left to right, it says 0.25 inches to right here. So I'm going to use my dimension tool and go to 0.25, then 1 inch, and then 1.25. So here we go. So I'm going to take my dimension tool, which is right here. So I'm going to click on this line and this line, and I move my mouse up in place, put 0.25. Whoa, it shrank down. That's okay. Alright, now I'm going to go from here to here is 1. And then it kind of moved around, so what I'm going to do is press escape, and I'm going to take, so I'm out of my dimension tool now, and I can just drag my last piece over. So if yours didn't do that, you don't have to worry about it, but just know you can move stuff over. Like if you put a dimension on something, and it's like, oh my gosh, or you could undo it, and then maybe we start with the longest dimension first. So I'm going to put 1.25. That's my dimension for all the way across. And then here to here is 1. So now I've got that done. So now I'm going to go back. So I put these 3 dimensions in. Now my height, so from the bottom to the bottom of this is 0.5, and then from the bottom to the top is 0.75. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to start and learn my lesson, and this time I'm going to do that, so I'm going to undo it. I'm going to go from here to here. We said, what the heck? So from the bottom, or from the top to here is 1. And then from here to the bottom, so I'm clicking on this one, then clicking on this line, then I move it over, so I'm not clicking any mouse buttons now, 0.75. So now I just double check. I messed up. Should be 0.5 and 0.75. So I'm going to go back over, get out of my, so press escape to get out of my dimension tool. I'm going to double click on this, change it to 0.5, and then 0.75. Alright, so now we're all good. We've got this all dimensioned. Everything's turned black. So I can end my sketch and extrude. And I'm going to extrude it by clicking all of the boxes. And I'm going to go back. So now I'm going from the, I need my depth. So that's my front going back this way. So that would be here. So remember our depth dimensions are here and here. So that's 1. So I'm going to go, oh, it's already set to 1 inch. So I've got my shape made, right? And now I can go look at the top. I got this little cut to make, all right? And the cut is not completely dimensioned, but I will fix that. So the cut is 0.25, 0.75, and 1. So it's 0.5 wide in the middle. You could do math, but it's easier to just put it in. So what I'm going to do now is start a sketch on the top, rotate to my top view. I'm going to make a box. Sketch on my top view. Make a box. It's okay, press escape. Now I can make it bigger. So I'm going to dimension here and here is 0.25. Here to here is 0.75. And then all the way is 1, so we don't have to dimension that because it's already been extruded. Okay, so now we have our dimensions here. This will be updated. It's 0.5 and then 0.75. So I'm going to go back to my part. And my sketch is gone. So we'll make this sketch again real quick. I'm going to make the rectangle in the middle and dimension here to here is 0.25. Here to here is 0.75. Here to here is 0.5 and then 0.75. So put 0.5 and then here to here is 0.75. Now that I have that all dimensioned, okay, I can extrude, click inside my box, choose remove, click the check, and it is now cut out. So now I can go down to the little scale and click on my part. It should give me my volume, and I compare that to the answer that I have before you turn it in. So you should have 0.53. Okay, that's it. I take that back. Once your property is correct, okay, to turn it in, you're going to share it. Choose link sharing. Turn on link sharing. Okay, so now anyone with the link, copy this, and you'll copy this, turn this into the assignment called Demo Shape, and I'll give you some points for doing this. That's now the end of the video.